خلينا نرحب بجولييت نورمان سميث أخصائية سياسات تعليمية باليونسكو. Hello, Julie.
Hello, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming and being with us today in Group الماميز show. We need to understand what is this workshop is all about. What does it mean, digital transformation collaborative?
Absolutely. It's a great question because it is the title of today's workshop and the reason why all of these partners are here in Cairo. The story for the Digital Transformation Collaborative really started just over a year ago. The Transforming Education Summit in 2022 happened in New York in September. And it was a big meeting of the education minds of the world from really all countries to come together and say, look, there are many problems and challenges facing the education sector today, and we need to work together to solve them. And digital learning was a track of that education summit. And so from that specific track in the education summit, the idea was born for the Digital Transformation Collaborative, which is basically this acknowledgement that partnership is at the core of making progress in digital transformation at the system level in the education sector. So UNESCO launched in 2020 during COVID school closures, a coalition of now over 200 partners who came together to support continuity of learning throughout school closures. A subgroup of those partners have kept working on that digital key, that digital transformation element beyond the pandemic. That's the Digital Transformation Collaborative.
Yes.
And the idea is that
those countries was Egypt.
So partners first were working together on this project. We hadn't talked to the countries yet.
Okay.
So basically, digital transformation is relevant everywhere. In every context in the world, it's relevant. But we know that countries are at different sort of stages of maturity and readiness for digital transformation and the use of digital technology in their education systems. And so the purpose of this group to gather together was to say, what are the sort of key areas that are necessary to make a whole system of education integrate digital technology ethically, sustainably, with inclusion at the forefront? And in order to do that, we had to make a framework. We had to make a sort of conceptual understanding of what are we talking about when we're talking about digital transformation.
Yes, exactly. So what is it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's called the 5 C's.
And we've heard this today a lot.
Exactly.
And we've seen them, but I want you to maybe emphasize more on.
And where it came from, really. So I said this morning, but the Digital Transformation Collaborative is made up of a number of different types of partners. We have private sector partners in there. We have international organizations like UNICEF, UNESCO in there. But then there's also NGOs, there's also funds and foundations. And so all of those types of partners might have a different blueprint or a different way of thinking about what digital transformation is. So we all got around a virtual table, let's say, and for weeks sort of ironed out these specific elements that are necessary for a digital transformation plan.
Okay,
and there are 5. 5 C's plus data.
Okay,
so
yes.
6 dimensions, 5 C's. We start with coordination and leadership. That's really about the vision, the governance. That's the sort of centralized thinking and strategic planning for digital technology and education. Then we go to cost and sustainability. You can have a plan, but you need to be able to budget that plan.
Yes.
That's often really hard for every type of country, even if it's a wealthy country. These transformation processes are really expensive.
Yes.
And so to have a sustainable budget is an issue and one that deserves its own sort of focus area of attention. How do we financially engineer the various models and funding mechanisms that exist and apply it to sustainable use of digital technology in education? Then we go around to connectivity and infrastructure, which is sort of the foundation, let's say, or the backbone of any digital transformation strategy. You need high-speed, high-quality Wi-Fi. You need electricity. Yes. You need the hardware and the software, the devices. You need the learning spaces that support those devices.
Yes.
Then moving around, we go to capacity and culture, which I think is one of the ones I'm most interested in. I used to be a teacher, and so I know how important it is to be able to feel empowered to use your technology and not have it overpower you and tell you what to do as a teacher. So capacity and culture is all about supporting the digital competencies and skills of not only teachers, but students and school leaders and the wider community and policymakers themselves. And then the final component is content and curriculum. So that's everything that you would think of when you think of digital platforms. So high quality, interactive, engaging, multilingual content available at any time, anywhere as our sort of criteria for content.
شوف الحلقة كاملة من خلال تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا مستقبل يبدأ الآن.